Hello and welcome to Story Meadow, stories for car journeys, bedtime and any other quiet time. My name's Marion and I'll be sharing the story with you today. Before we start, I'd love to share about our Halloween special holiday camp, which is taking place in the October half term on Wednesday, 29th of October from 9 o'clock to 4 p.m. Our spooky story is going to be brought to life with the children's own ideas, with their own creativity, with treasure hunts, spotting some spooky little bats and creatures in our woods, with potion making so the children can have a go at experimenting with their own special finds and bubbles. We're going to be making lanterns and other arts and crafts, den building, bubble parties, mindfulness activities. The day is jam-packed full of really fun activities, all set outside. Our holiday camps are so popular and children are absolutely loving them. So I'd love for your child to have a go at coming along. It's a really great way to make new friends, be outside in nature, to feel a deep connection to our story, to our surroundings, and to bring a story to life in such a playful and creative way, because children get to add their own ideas and to take the story on unexpected turns as it comes to life. And it is just so special. It's so much more than a holiday camp, because children actually come back on days that they don't even need holiday camp or daycare. They just come because they enjoy the sessions and have so much fun. So to book your child on for our Halloween special, please head to the website storymeadow.co.uk. Okay, enough chatting. Let's get all cozy so we can relax into the story. Let's take a first big breath in through your nose and slowly back out through your mouth. Lovely. I think it's time to start our story. Are you ready? Billy Bunny makes a potion. One day, Billy Bunny was out playing hide and seek with Florence Fox. They were running around together and Florence Fox was very good at hiding. In fact, Billy really struggled to find her, and when he finally did, he spotted a little bit of white in a big pile of orange leaves, because Florence Fox is so well camouflaged at this time of year, because our leaves are turning all orange and they're falling to the ground, and Florence Fox was the perfect colour to hide inside and not get spotted. But luckily, Billy Bunny eventually found her with a little bit of white on her tail. Then it was Billy's turn to hide. He heard Florence Fox starting to count 1, 2, 3, and he hopped into a big pile of leaves, but then he noticed that he was not all orange. And he was really sticking out, and his ears were sticking out of the leaves too, and it was a rubbish hiding place. She was going to find him straight away. Oh dear, Billy changed his mind. He went running into another direction. But sometimes Billy can be a little bit clumsy, and he can trip over tree roots. In fact, it happens quite a lot, and it happened right then. He hopped and tripped and stumbled and went tumbling, and landed with a big whoof and with his head in a little wooden bucket. "Ah!" said Billy. "Oh no, I can't see." He had a bucket on his head and it was stuck, and Billy couldn't get the bucket off. "Oh no, ah, ooh, ah." And he tried to pull it this way and he tried to pull it that way, but the bucket was stuck tight. "Oh," said Billy, and he decided he would just sit down with the bucket on his head until Florence Fox found him, which didn't take very long. 20, ready or not, here I come," said Florence Fox. And she turned around and she saw her friend Billy Bunny sitting in the middle of the forest with a wooden bucket on his head. She laughed and she said, "Billy, that's not a great hiding spot. I've found you straight away. You know I can still see you even with your head in a bucket." And she ran over and pulled the bucket off of his head. It did take a big, big tug. She said 1, 2, 3, ooh, ooh, and went flying through the air with the bucket. And Billy said, "Oh, I'm rubbish at hide and seek. I wish I was as good as you, Florence Fox, but I can't find a good hiding spot, and then I ended up with a bucket stuck on my head. That was terrible." Florence Fox smiled. She said, "Billy, that's okay. We're actually all good at different things. And I might be really good at hide and seek, but you will be good at different things to me. I wonder what it is you're really good at." And Billy said, "I'm not good at anything. I'm rubbish, rubbish, rubbish." And he sat down on a rock. Oh dear, thought Florence Fox. And she tried to think of a new game. She thought maybe if we play a different game, that might cheer Billy up. He might be better at it than hide and seek. And she was still holding this big wooden bucket in her paws. And she said, "Billy, I've got an idea. What if we made a potion?" "A potion," said Billy. "Yeah! Oh, we can get some water from the stream just down here." And Billy grabbed the bucket and went running to fill it with a bit of water from the stream. Well, Billy filled up the little bucket and then he had a great idea. What if we added some leaves to it? Oh, and we could use a stick and we could mash them all together. Oh, look at the colour. This looks great. Oh, and if we mash some berries, what about that, Florence? Oh, this looks so great. And Florence Fox couldn't think quick enough to keep up with Billy. He had ideas bursting out of his ears. Do this, do that, grab this, grab that, mash this, spread that. And they made a fantastic potion with all different colours swirling around. And then Billy found one last ingredient. It was something that he had found in the ground, a bit like chalk, and it was quite dry and white, and he powdered it up. He mushed it and mashed it till it made a little fine powder, and he sprinkled it on the top of his potion. Well, that potion began to fizz and bubble, and it bubbled over the top of the bucket and fizzed like a real magical potion. "Wow," said Billy, "look at this. This is so cool." And just then, Eliza Owl swooped down. She had been watching from the treetops and she said, "Billy, I think you're the best potion maker I've ever seen. That looks amazing." And Billy giggled. He said, "Yes, it's a magic potion. Ooh, Eliza Owl, if you sprinkle some of this on your claws, you'll turn bright pink." And Eliza Owl giggled, and they sprinkled a tiny bit on the tips of her claws and pretended that she had gone bright pink. And Billy said, "Oh, and Florence Fox, if you dip your tail in this, it will give you wings and you'll be able to fly." So Florence Fox dipped her tail in and she pretended that she had grown wings and ran around the forest saying, "I'm flying, I'm flying." And they giggled all afternoon. Now, right before they left, Eliza Owl asked Billy. She said, "Billy, do you remember what you put into the potion? If we tried to make it again and we wanted to do it again tomorrow, what would we need to do? What would we need to put in?" And Billy knew exactly what he had put in. He remembered every little detail, how he had mashed some things, how he had spread others, how he had sprinkled the last little white powder inside just at the right time, and they wrote it all down on a special piece of paper that was their potion recipe. And Florence Fox smiled at Billy. She put her paws round him and she said, "Billy, do you remember earlier this morning when you said you were rubbish at hide and seek? Well, I think you've found something that you're very, very good at." And Billy laughed and he said, "Oh, Florence Fox, you were right. We're all good at different things, and I think I'm really good at potion making." And Florence Fox giggled and said, "I think you really are." The end. I wonder if you've ever made a potion before. It can be so fun to do, and at this time of year, there are so many things on the ground, so many treasures that we can find, like acorns and conkers and leaves and sticks, and we can mash them all up into a special potion. Have fun potion making. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Story